something that the cop wants you to know. It's in your head now after that game because it's all the Liverpool fans sang in the second half because this, my friends, was a very simple game. I am in a good mood after Liverpool dispatched, should we say, Leicester 3-0? Not really happy to see Leicester condemned to the relegation zone, or at least for a longer stay in the relegation zone. Good luck to them in staying up. It looks pretty perilous, though, and I don't want to be one of those teams that sort of compound that. Relations in the past not great between the two teams. But anyway, Liverpool are on the hunt. Who are they hunting? Devils. Magpies. But which one are we going to get? Which one am I going to bring back to you, boy? Which one are we going to eat the flesh off? We don't know yet. We will find out. Doubters to believers is the headline in this one for me. I've got to admit, I became a doubter at one point. And when Jurgen Klopp first came in, and there will be so many of these silly little headlines written come the end of the season, he said, we need to go from doubters to believers. But if you then turn your fan base into doubters again, do not blame them. However, it was a very short period in which we were doubters. It was a very short period in which we even maybe felt justified in doubting what this team was capable of. And you would argue that in that period, we also said we could see where the team were going. And boy, did we say that on this channel. Anyone who doubted Liverpool, anyone who doubted and said, hey, this team is not capable of rebuild, all these kind of things, more fool you. I'm not here to rub it in, although it's weird to rub those kind of things in, but when you look at certain elements of it, you can understand why some people doubted Liverpool. But when you look at other elements, you've got to trust the process. Now, as much as that is now a cliche at almost every club, it should be something that is ingrained at Liverpool. The process of rehabilitating a side, of rebuilding, has always been one that is painful at Liverpool. Liverpool gets sentimentally attached to even the most nebulous of players within the team. Apart from Alberto Aquilani. But apart from that, there are players within this side who Liverpool fans love. And it's been very difficult to move on from that this season. It has felt at times like the changing of the guard. But let me unpack that a little bit for you. Because changing of guards can sometimes be... they come in many different forms. Sometimes you promote from within. Curtis Jones, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'll get into their performances in just a second. And sometimes you go outside. You know, you look at a McAllister, Mount, even a Jude. I mean, you just look around and you go, how can we change this side? And Liverpool have taken a while to click this season. But weirdly, in this run that Liverpool have had Curtis, it's been the best run of the season. In this run that Liverpool have started Fabinho, Henderson and Curtis Jones very consistently, Liverpool have looked a lot more solid, a lot more progressive, a lot more adaptable, a lot more fluid, a lot more flexible, a lot more fun. And with that, there is something to learn for Liverpool fans. A, when you doubt Jurgen Klopp, maybe it's something you have to do as fans. Maybe there has to be something you call out. Maybe you have to call the people who are underperforming out. But at the same time, don't believe that's going to last forever. Don't believe that Liverpool's dip, or whatever you want to call it, is a permanent state. Because Liverpool are on a return. They are now chasing Manchester United down. They just are, aren't they? They just are. And with that, Curtis Jones has been a huge reformed character within that. I interviewed him last season for the launch of the last kit. This very kit right here, my friends. This one, right? And it's beautiful. I've got to admit, I thought this was a beautiful kit. A lot of people thought it was a bit too basic. I thought it was lovely. Love the design, all this kind of thing. And he sat in this kit, and I saw a guy who was sort of doubting himself, knew there was a role for him in the team somewhere, but he didn't quite know what that was yet. He didn't quite know where he fitted in. And now Curtis Jones has found a very comfortable home in that midfield, now that Trent has pushed up. And that is so Jurgen Klopp. It is so system-based at Liverpool right now that when... I mean, by the way, the system was very fluid this evening, and it's clearly something that's taken a while to coach these Liverpool players. And it's also something that other teams allow. We'll get into that in a second. Curtis Jones scored 2 fantastic goals, both of which were assisted by Mo Salah. Mo dropping a little bit deeper, then cutting inside, playing the ball off with Curtis. His second one was even better. His first one, good. You know Liverpool are playing well when there's Liverpool trending on Twitter, and you know Liverpool are playing well when people are questioning whether teams are offside, neither of which were true. Having said that, this reformed character of Curtis Jones was something that people were beginning to massively doubt. Even I was talking about it in my post-match. I was doubting where his position was in the team. I was doubting where he was capable of playing. And I guess to an extent, that was penetrating the whole team, right? That was something that everyone was doubting, this whole Liverpool side. And maybe that was unfair, but at the same time, maybe we did need to question where they were at that point. We always said we knew where they were going. We always knew there was a North Star. We always knew there were elements of pain in this growth. But did we see Curtis Jones coming out the other side with this? Did we see human victory cigars coming on? Did we see Liverpool being able to so convincingly beat so many of these sides? And at the same time, more recently, only winning by 1-0 margins. Only just in this game, smashing that into oblivion. Of course, Trent's free kick was something incredible, something really Trenty. In fact, I kind of came up with this idea that if one of our signings or one of our potential signings or someone we were scouting for this summer had scored that goal, there would be tweets like, add another 10 mil on, this guy is worth X, he's incredible, the quality, all these kind of things. Instead, it's just kind of like, oh, Trent's world class. He's always has been, but you will say Trent is world class again. Well, Trent has always been world class. Trent has always been a smooth operator, maybe a little bit too smooth sometimes, maybe a little too laid back. But now he's in this midfield role. He's enjoying the little round the corner stuff. He's enjoying the combinations with Fabinho. He's enjoying the combinations in that boxy shape for Liverpool, backwards and forwards. He's enjoying dishing it out wide. He's enjoying the little outside of the foots, not only with the quick passes, I'm doing the outside of the foot, but also with the little tick over the top, trying to find your hack pose, trying to find your Luis Diaz's. And he's kind of enjoying this more flexible role. He's actually wandering a little bit more left more often than you would see than before. He's often spoken more recently about how he is enjoying this new role. And so I love that. That free kick was just something else. A really world-class, incredible strike. And you can see the confidence is back in Trent. I love that. But at the same time, should you be confident against a side who has only won one now in 14 games, a side that looks condemned to relegation? And should you want to rub that in? No. Although some people talk about Tories. Not everyone in Leicester's a Tory. Some people are. Some people not. You decide. The other aspect, of course, is that the Liverpool fans in the second half sang Bobby Firmino's song consistently. They cut to this beautiful shot of him. They cut to this moment where Bobby was at the side and just smiling away. You could see how much he was enjoying being lauded by the Liverpool fans. I love Bobby. I don't think I'll ever get over the fact that he's leaving the club. I don't think I'll get over the fact that these are the last moments that we will get of some of these Liverpool players. This is the last few moments that we will get of this version of this Liverpool team. The changing of the guard is happening. The transformation is going on. So appreciate Bobby. Appreciate the other aspects that you see around you right now. Appreciate when we do get those glimpses of these players. Appreciate James Milner coming on. Appreciate whoever is the sub coming on. Appreciate Fabio Carvalho. Appreciate all these people. Because in the long run at Liverpool, a lot of this is going to change. Roles will change. Some people will become more prominent, some people less so. It's going to be, I think, because it feels like it's moving in the right direction, in like a progressive direction, maybe we feel a little less sentimental about it at this point. In fact, maybe the sentiment was kind of spent one season ago during the quadruple. Maybe so much of that sentiment was already gone because of the pain that we've been through with this side. It's kind of like, okay, we've been through the growing pains. We are now ready to shed our feathers and, be the new phoenix. Or the new Liverbird. But within that, that's still difficult. I think I'm going to try and go to Anfield. I think I'm going to Anfield that last day of the season, or the last game of the season for the Villa game. And that game, we cannot have too much. I mean, I know it's going to be rocking there at Anfield. Aston Villa is a tricky game, right? Liverpool can't afford to be fielding players to say goodbye to. Liverpool can't afford to have that this season, and that is indicative of what's happened so far on the field, but also slightly damning of where Liverpool are. They're chasing Newcastle and Manchester United for one of those two spots. And it's not really in Liverpool's hands at this point. We are relying on other teams dropping points. Even with the win, which Manchester United and Newcastle both have a game in hand over, Liverpool are not ahead of either of them. And it feels like they hit form one, maybe 2 games too late. I feel like I shouldn't have doubted. I feel like I should have backed. But at the same time, the questions felt right, the sentiment felt right, all those things. And maybe you have to go from that doubter to believer in order to feel the strong sense of belief that this Liverpool fan base now feel, and the sense of jubilation that Liverpool feel in maybe knowing they get their Liverpool side back, not only next season, but have had them back for a little while now. So, as frustrating as it is, maybe we might just shoot for the Champions League. Just don't even talk about Europa League until it becomes like a very material thing. It's frustrating, sure. But this Liverpool side, you can kind of see where it was coming earlier this season. The shape has changed a little bit. Sometimes 3 at the back, sometimes 2 at the back. They're 2-3-2-3, 3-2-3-2, depending on who they're playing. It is changing quite a bit. Sam Maguire's written some fantastic pieces about it. I think a lot of people have written about the progress of this Liverpool team. They're just fun to watch now. They are flowing. I love these kind of like, you know, when you watch like, you know, when you're at school and you look at those patterns that the magnets make in your science book, it looks so natural. There is such a flow to it. You see the players just like running and they just keep running into this great space and they know where the ball to play is now rather than before where it was like, where am I putting this ball? One thing I will say is there was an element of vulnerability at times, moments of which, I mean, you're always going to see those in every game, right? But this Liverpool side, they're not fully over the line yet. They're not fully there into this next generation. Obviously, there are some signings to come. It's the end of the season. There's lots of different combinations as to why, but there are moments where you can sort of see that when Leicester or a side put even a minor bit of pressure on them, oh, it's a little bit tricky. Now, they can play around that, and this team are clearly up for a fight. But I just think it's worth noting, like, they're not fully out of the woods yet. There is still this worry of the old hangover mentality. What is going on? Who's staying? Who's going? We know kind of who's going at this point, but we know there might be more going than we thought was going. So there's a lot still to kind of assess here at Liverpool. And I just kind of want to note that because in the future, you know, they play Villa next. There's some tricky games to come. I thought Leicester would be a much harder game than this. Leicester have had a couple of interesting results more recently. Like they are desperate to stay up. Liverpool clearly they were imperious today, just absolutely just swept Leicester to one side. And after the Curtis Jones first goal, it was just done. So that's satisfying. Jurgen, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Trent, I'm sorry I ever criticised you. Curtis, I'm sorry I barely backed you. And Hendo, I'm sorry that Liverpool fans and a lot of people gave you a lot of abuse because you were great to make a documentary about. It's also sentimental for me because I'm coming towards the end of this season where Liverpool fans, and me in particular, I got to make a documentary that felt so special. During the quadruple, during all those things, it marked the change into this kind of new era. Big things come after this. I think this is the next Klopp era. This is Klopp 3.0, maybe even 4.0 at this point. New players come in. It's no longer the Liverpool shape of old. There are still signs, that front line of that 3, Hakpo probably replacing Firmino. I've really enjoyed Hakpo so far. Salah dropping a little bit deeper, combining nicely. Your Elliots, maybe your Carvalhos, maybe your Mounts, maybe your McAllisters. All these kind of players coming in and just being fun to watch in this Liverpool shirt. By the way, lovely Liverpool shirt. Thank you, Liverpool, for the early gift. I got to play on the pitch the other day with So Rare, and thank you very much, James Alcott, for that invite and the hookup. But So Rare, thank you for letting me play on the pitch. And Liverpool Retail, thanks for... this isn't the best advert for this shirt, but thank you for this. It's a beautiful shirt. Should I tie my hair back more often? No, I hear you shout. Should it look like this? No, I hear you shout. Thank you, Liverpool, for another great win. Thank you for making me believe again. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you believed and enjoyed in the comments below. Is it Andy Robertson? Is it that back two that now look pretty good? Is it the fact that we kept the hope even when the belief felt like it was gone? Yes. I look forward to hearing your comments. I'll be in the comments below. Come find me, at me, do whatever you need to do, and I'll be there. I'll be answering every one of those comments. I'll see you guys in a little while. Much love.